Friday night Super Rugby, Hurricanes had to wait until the last minute to get it done over the Landers. This one was expected to be a bit more of a blowout, but geez, the Landers came close to picking up another win. Captain America was the jersey the Canes were wearing. I'd forgotten about that, but no, they busted that jersey out for another weekend. Yeah, Captain America embodied, I guess, Cam Roigard, because Captain New Zealand, I don't know, he busted over at the death for a last-minute Canes win. Seems like they have a bit of a disrupted bye period with a bit of COVID and whatnot, so maybe not the ideal prep for the Canes, but yeah, maybe the Landers just need a little bit more credit. Hey, we'll go through some of the key events and stats. You guys can let us know your thoughts, but cracking start for the Landers. Absolutely cracking. A bunch of pressure finally finished by Jonah Lowe, who gets a try on 2 minutes. Reward for their early pressure, 7 points to 0. They did have a chance to extend the lead when they went through like 18 phases, but that time Peter Lakai was able to get the Canes out of dodge, because if they'd gone 2 tries down, given the scoreline in this game, it might have been, something important, so that's a key turnover. But to be fair, the Canes did have disruption with guys getting injured. Yose was the first of quite a few guys to go off relatively early in this game. He kind of rolled his ankle. Ruben Love was maybe lucky not to go off with an HIA because he got slammed head on head with Tavatava Nawai. But yeah, there was disruption going on. But that being said, the Canes got themselves equal when Balin Sullivan managed to get a try not too long later over in the corner. And geez, if he didn't cut himself up badly when scoring that try, he was absolutely covered in blood because he managed to have about 3 Landers bodies on top of him as he went over for the try, but it was a good reply. And then the Landers from their own half, some cracking rugby. I feel like this game was one where there was both some cracking rugby and also some pretty average rugby. Some slick tries, but then also some pretty poor turnovers conceded and whatnot, if you know what I mean. But yeah, big Talea with the don't argue on Punivai was a sight to behold, probably worth the price of admission to see a guy get bumped off like that. He got sat down, and then there's a 1-2 move with Ratu Maitavuki Neepkins and Lowe, who kind of started the thing, Neepkins, with the kind of cross kick pass. They play the 1-2, and Lowe's able to get the second try of the game for the Landers. So they're ahead 14 points to 7. But just again, as they're managing to get the momentum, they suffer, and it's the yellow card to Tavatava Nawai. It's head on head. It's yellow card only because Love kind of dips. Tavatava Nawai wasn't exactly going in high, but head on head, and they say that one is yellow, so he gets yellowed. He survives the review, though, so he's able to come back on. But during the yellow, when you'd think the Hurricanes are going to punish and take the momentum away from the Landers, Harkin, he pinches an offload from the Highlanders, but they survive at the Highlanders, and then Tossi gets a big head of steam up, the huge prop, but he gets held up just short of line and knocks it on. So yeah, the Landers survive the card period and go into the sheds with a 14 points to 7 lead, which is not what the script said things were going to happen. The possession and territory are more or less 50-50. The run meters are pretty even. The Canes have had 4 clean breaks to 2, but the turnovers one is 7-5. So the Landers more turnovers, the Canes more chances, if you want to kind of put it that way. And the Canes line out is looking a bit shaky, and that continues on throughout the course of the game. Second half, they get the coach of the Canes, Laidlaw, on the line, and he's talking about them wanting to not concede so many bloody turnovers because there's been too many of them. And what do they do to start the second half? It's a turnover after some relentless pressure. Try-saving tackle from Tavatava Nawai potentially helps dislodge the ball, but the pressure is honestly relentless from the Canes. They just wouldn't let the Landers escape their own half. Anytime they would exit, they would run it straight back down to their end. And eventually, geez, it took ages. They got the try after so much pressure. Roigard with a snipe to finish it 14 points to 14. They probably should have had a quick-fire double, but they got to try tier mode for a forward pass, and then another one not long later for a kind of knock-on in goal. So despite all that pressure, they've only managed the 7 points and to even things up. And then when they finally get a penalty 40 metres out, the Canes just, I don't want to say wave the white flag at trying to score tries, but they can't back themselves to hold the ball or win their line out, so they just opt for the penalty, and Love slots it. To be fair, it's a hell of a nudge. So that puts them in the lead 17-14, but they've had 70% possession and 79% territory at that point in the second half, so they should be up probably by more than 3. And then credit to the Landers. First chance they get down the other end, they also opt for a 3 to even things right up, and then get another one not long later to take the lead 20 points to 17. Suddenly the Canes have got to chase the game. And I thought they'd blown it when they had a 75-minute attacking scrum. They go right, but the pass misses his man, goes into touch. I thought maybe that was their chance, but then Ruben Love with a big line break from a Landers clearing kick. They almost score from that one, but Nawai wins a penalty at the breakdown. So I thought that was game. But then the Landers throw with like a minute and a bit on the clock is not straight. So that gives the Canes one last chance. They get advantage. They go 22 phases, and that man, Roygaard, dives over the bodies, over the goal line for a try. It is the winner. No super point. No Landers win. It's the Canes who get it done. 24 points to 20. They only just got it done, but a win is a win. Possession was 57-43, territory 62-38, but all second half numbers in favour of the Canes. Clean breaks 10-2. By those numbers, if the Canes hadn't had 17 turnovers conceded, they probably would have won this game a bit easier. But that being said, you've got to give credit to the Landers. 9 turnovers won is a pretty Herculean shift from them. Roygaard, though, 16 carries, top carrier, 3 line breaks, top line breaker, 6 defenders beaten, top tackle buster of the game. Incredible. Fabian Holland, 17 tackles. Nawai, 3 turnovers, 1. Still some excellent shifts from them too. But yes, it's the Canes who, by the skin of their teeth and at the last minute, managed to get themselves a win. You guys let us know your thoughts on the game, and I'm off to watch the Tars take on the Crusaders. You guys take care. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.